Hello everybody, welcome to I guess the only video I upload on this channel these days is just Battlefield benchmarks, but here we have the Battlefield 6 open beta early access. I got some gameplay for you guys running on 1440p with the 3080 paired with a 7600X. Now, one thing to note about this game, very CPU bound, CPU limited. I guess just with the number of players that are running around the map and the level of destruction that's happening in the background, lots of things for your CPU to do, and for that reason, we're going to dive a little bit into it today. Very CPU bound this game. So right now we're running 1440p low, native settings, no upscaling or anything like that, and we were able to get 124 FPS on average. Now, I do have the numbers for my usage and the 1% lows on the top left there, but I would kind of ignore the 1% lows numbers personally. I feel like the way that Afterburner records these numbers is not really accurate to what you get in real life. So 1% numbers are there in case you care about that, but for this video, I'm just going to ignore them. Now, one thing I do want you guys to know is the GPU usage. You can see right now we're hovering in the mid 90s, high 90s. We see 98, 96. Now, that's interesting because earlier I was mentioning about how this game is CPU bound. I did stay up until 3 AM for the release, and I've been playing pretty much non-stop since, so I have a couple hours in the game. I have a general idea of how the game is going to perform, and what's interesting to me is this map seems to be a lot more demanding than the other ones. Performance on this specific map is not as good as the other ones, and the average FPS on the lowest settings is about 30 FPS lower than the other maps. And you know, this is low settings. There's no settings that you can turn down any further. The only thing that you could do to potentially increase performance is turn on upscaling. So why don't we go ahead and do that, and we'll look at those numbers and discuss those a little bit. Alright, now we have DLSS 4 turned on. One thing I will note is I am using NVIDIA Profile Inspector to force DLSS 4 on this game. I'm not too sure what version of DLSS this game is using out of the box, but I always reach for DLSS 4 over DLSS 3 where possible, just because the image quality is much better, and oftentimes the performance hit is not that big at all. But for this specific game, turning on DLSS at 1440p low got us no performance difference at all. We're still getting the same 124 FPS on average, but one thing that you might have noticed is that the GPU usage is overall kind of lower than it was by about maybe 7-8%. We were seeing usage that was, you know, 95, 97, 96 earlier, around that range, but now we're hovering a lot closer to mid-low 80s. So due to that CPU limitation I was talking about earlier, we're not able to fully utilize our graphics card and maximize the number of frames that we're getting. This is a situation where maybe like an X3D CPU or something with a little bit more power would be beneficial if you wanted to push higher than 124 FPS on this map, especially if you had a stronger GPU or you wanted to use a more aggressive upscaler. For this specific map, it looks like the 7600 can only put out 124 FPS. And once we start to up the settings a little bit, 1440p, medium settings, native, no upscaling, we can see that the GPU usage climbs back up to, you know, 95, 96, 97, and therefore the CPU limitation does not really become as big of a problem. I'm assuming if you're watching this video, you also have a 3080. I'm curious to hear what your performance is like, especially those of you that have an X3D CPU. Are you able to push higher than 125 FPS on this map? Kind of upscaling are you guys using? What settings are you using? I haven't dialed in my settings or anything yet, so I'm open to suggestions. But right now I'm thinking, you know, maybe medium settings with balanced upscaling should be moved. But yeah, let me know what you guys think. If you have any questions, any concerns, just let me know in the comments, and I'd make sure to get back to you. Alright guys, peace out. Enjoy the beta. I'll see you guys for Battlefield 7.
control Bravo.